Wait. I just love the way he says zone. Zone. Hello. It's homework time. Thank you to King Keytan, who supplied the theme tune for this episode. That was an excerpt from his song Burn from his EP Divine Machine, which I believe you can download from Bandcamp, so check it out. It's a really good series of quite ambient 8-bit tunes. The theme, as suggested by Kenny Loggins right there, is Danger. To my left, we have Lucy James, current host of The Blurb.
Hello.
Which is on what channel?
It is on Challenge.
Challenge, so nestled between repeats of Nightmare and Family Fortunes.
And TNA Wrestling, never forget.
Amazing. and to my right we have, well, you're an incredibly prolific writer for one thing. You write for The Guardian, as I've just found out, IGN. Heavily censorious IGN
article, that's right.
Rock, Paper, Shotgun, but you're also a producer of the slightly controversial Sweatshop.
Yes, I was indeed.
One of the games that had the privilege of being removed from the shop by Apple.
Oh, it's so sad, so sad.
Bastards! No. Right. Now, this worked really well last time, I thought. So we're going to go through some of the suggestions that came from our viewers. And you guys have to give me... Oh, you have to let me know first if you've seen it or not, with a simple yes or no. And secondly, a one-word description of what you thought of it or what you think it might be like.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
I'll go, and yours will be Lucy first, Cara second.
Okay.
Is that cool? Okay. The first one comes from previous guest, Gav Murphy, and it's Steven Spielberg's kind of TV movie debut, Jewel.
No. Magical.
No. Fighty?
So wrong. Second, it's a game, The Amazing Rick Dangerous. Brilliant. That came from Chris Campbell.
No. 8-bit.
No. Dangerous?
Poor. Damien Briggs suggested the snorting wasabi challenge. Have you ever snorted wasabi?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the one-word description is?
Painful.
I figured as much.
Yes, and fizzy. It's a fizzy experience, I would say.
haven't lived, clearly.
We did it as we were drinking, obviously, and we did it as if you didn't do however many shots, you had to snort wasabi instead. So I decided to go for what I thought was the lesser of two evils.
Wrong.
Wrong.
What's your story?
Lonely, again,
bored.
yes. Lonely in Japan. Just thought I'd snort some wasabi. Wasn't such a good time.
Open the fridge on a hot day.
Yeah, basically my neighbours found me naked on the floor, swollen up.
Just two green stripes from your nose. Amazing. Battle Royale, which came from Ashley Blackburn and John Page. Movie, of course.
Yes. And violent.
Yes, bloody.
Awesome.
And awesome.
Demolition Man from James Fieldsend.
Sounds familiar. No. And Dusty.
Dusty. I'm not even going to push you on that one.
No, but isn't that an Arnie movie?
Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay.
The one where Taco Bell's taken.
Oh God, well that's schlocky then, isn't it?
Schlocky,
It's
yes,
schlocky.
that's a good one. And finally, of course, Top Gun from Scott Aquilina.
Yes. Homoerotic.
Oh, you coined it. You stole it from me. Yes, I've seen it.
Yes, volleyball.
And it's volleyball is that's the finest scene. Playing with the Boys by Kenny Loggins, probably the greatest song besides Danger Zone.
Playing with the boys.
Playing with the Boys. Great.
It's not subtle, is it?
No.
Yeah. Lucy's amazing rendition. Playing with the boys. What was it again?
The voice.
Before I go any further, I should say that the socks I'm wearing today were actually sent from all the way from Vancouver by my aunt, who's a regular viewer of the show, and it sent me these socks specifically to wear. They actually say Canada down the side. You probably can't see that, but thank you, Jane. Really appreciate
So
it.
adorable.
It's lovely, isn't it? That was really nice. But yeah, we're going to kick off with our game, which is Plague Inc. So Plague Inc. was suggested by Dan Edwards. It's an iOS game if you don't know what it is, and basically you assume the role of a virus and you have to kill everybody on the planet. It's pretty good fun. Have you guys played it before, or did you play it just for this challenge?
I played it before.
Yeah?
I had never played it, so I played it just for this challenge, and it's excellent. I really enjoyed it. Basically, the tendency obviously is to name the virus after yourself or something that dear to you, which
Yes.
really always is going to fuck you over, isn't it? Because essentially, you kill everyone, or the thing, like maybe you've got a cat called, like, I don't know,
Lucky.
Tabby or Lucky.
I was thinking Lucky as well.
Yeah, and like basically, Lucky is like Lucky kills everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like the experience of actually seeing something like Cara-chan will not be cured for over 20 years or something like that is quite an experience. And then like the UK is shut down because Cara-chan is there, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't have used my own name here.
Yeah.
I'm dooming my own country.
Yeah.
I'm really sad because like it's very limited the name you can put in. So I really wanted to have like Chevy Chase, but then I couldn't. So now it's Nick Cage.
Oh my gosh, that would
So,
be
like,
wonderful.
Nick Cage is spread to Egypt. Nick Cage originated from, Ireland. I did that once. It didn't really work
They've
out.
cancelled the London Olympics because of Nick Cage.
See.
The president has been infected with Nick Cage. That's a really good... I named it after my wife.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then provided rolling updates while she was trying to watch telly. Goes,
Yes.
oh, you've just destroyed Africa, dear.
I feel like that's exactly what it's for. Is for annoying someone you love, with updates of like how they are killing the entire planet.
She was really worried because she took a picture of it, midway through and was just going to tweet it. And then she got really worried that half of her followers, because she works in charity, wouldn't have a clue what she was on about. I figured that she was actually just posting something from an actual news broadcast saying that a disease named after her had actually wiped out half of the developing world. So she waited until it got to a point where like 7 billion had died, and then she was like, I think it's safe now because people will know it isn't real.
Probably would have heard of that by now. So yeah, it's definitely not real.
But yeah, I mean, our viewers agree with us. Hazuki Sensei, who I believe is named after the Shenmue character. So the best part of Plague Inc., naming your virus after a person and then reading the news. Cameron kills millions. I'm assuming he's referring to David. It's quite badly written though, isn't it? Have you seen the other kind of newscasts that come up, like Justin Bibble's?
Oh, I didn't
Have you seen
see
that one?
That's
The one that-
amazing.
if you don't kind of, if you're not virulent enough in the early stages, all this kind of
If
bland...
you're not virile enough.
Virile enough. You're not virile. I was going to call my disease spunk rot. I didn't. But if you're not virulent enough at the start and you're not infecting enough people, all these kind of really bland news stories come up. And one of them was like Justin Bibble trampled by fans, and one about the something about the Danish mafia. I got it.
I got some boring
I've
news
got it
stories,
written
but they
down.
were actually so legitimately boring. I can't
Yeah.
remember what
I
they
didn't actually
were.
remember what they were.
Yeah, the Danish mafia are too powerful. The EU.
Oh really?
According to the EU, the Danish mafia are too powerful. But yeah, the whole game was basically developed by one guy, who I've got here is a guy called James Vaughan, a 25-year-old former business consultant who kind of did it on his parents' MacBook.
Oh, cool.
And he's now a millionaire,
Wow.
That's great.
living the dream, the git. And he actually stole it from another game that I think was called Pandemic 2, which is a web game.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
And he's very open about it. He says, yeah, I saw that game and I thought I could improve it. And having now played Pandemic 2, I totally agree. He's actually made it into a much kind of better, more fun experience. And I think part of that is also that kind of grim thing of evolving it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And adding those extra qualities to it. I mean, what did you favour?
Did you because the gory kind of details of like you
Yeah.
can upgrade this so you like someone gets like mad pustules or like or it'll be like slow burn tumor or something, and that's like horrible.
goes into a coma. Disease is much more difficult to cure, but like everyone's just out.
Yeah.
You're so happy while you're doing it. I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm I'm more dangerous than the bubonic plague.
I love those updates actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do get a really kind of macabre sense of satisfaction from knowing that.
Well, it's like when it pops up saying Cara is like more infectious than, has killed more people than the Spanish flu, and you're like, yes.
I love you added the
Feel
Chan to it as
me.
well to kind of cutesify the disease.
It's so weird just sat watching the counter at the bottom, especially in the end stage of the game where you're just basically waiting for everyone to die. And so you're sat there just watching, first of all watching the bar go across, but you're also watching the numbers.
It's got to go red.
It's got to go red,
The
and then it
entire
all
nation's
has to go,
infected,
has to go like grey. You just sat there watching the numbers, like, come on.
It was like, but the first time I played it, it was just like, I made it really, really infectious, so it spread really, really easily, and then it was really severe, but like hardly, it wasn't very lethal. So in the end, what happened was that like everyone was infected with it, but it wasn't like
It wasn't killing them
it wasn't
quick
killing them quick enough. So basically, there's the kind of it just dragged at the end, where I was just like waiting for everyone's inevitable death, because it pops up saying, "Oh, no one in the world is healthy anymore. Everyone has your disease," and then from then on, it's just a waiting game. But I didn't have enough points to actually spend on actually
That's
upgrading.
the frustration. By the end, you just kind of sat there
Yeah.
hoping that the cure meter doesn't go to the top by the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's it. It's kind of offsetting. What I found my tactic was to kind of improve the infectiousness of it first,
Yeah.
and then add to the lethality later, so everyone had it, and then suddenly they were just getting pustules and passing out. But I also like the fact you get combos as well. So yes, so say you evolve coughing and also vomiting, then you get projectile vomiting, or if you evolve to sneezing and diarrhea, you get people accidentally shitting themselves by sneezing.
No way!
Yeah, you get like public defecation and stuff like that.
I've been doing this all wrong.
It's so good. So if you can work out the combos, you can make it even more, even more dangerous.
I like when it just kind of mutates by itself, like, oh, it's accidentally mutated so that now insects carry it, and you're like, oh, that's awesome.
I
got
Plague of
angry with that.
insects.
I got angry with that. I was trying to, make it a quiet
Stealth
one.
attack.
And I was like, now it's making everyone shit themselves. I'm like, no, I didn't want that. Thanks, disease. The other trick is getting to certain countries. And Matt Lees, Jam Sponge, previous guest of the show, said in his 2-word summary of the game, "Fuck Greenland."
Oh, God.
So to that, I would add and/or Madagascar.
Always fuck Madagascar.
Thanks, Gareth. So basically, they're two places that can only be accessed by boat.
And they are extreme as well, like in terms of temperature. So essentially, like one's very cold and one's very warm.
So you have
you have to make your virus essentially be immune to cold and hot, which is hard.
There are also places where the boats don't go very frequently as well, so
Yeah.
you've got to hope that a diseased passenger boat goes to one of those.
I don't feel so bitter about Madagascar, because I started off in Brazil the first time, and everyone dropped dead in Madagascar, like soon as, just like dropped dead. First guy actually was in Madagascar, he died, and then I was like, haha, Madagascar, and then I couldn't get to the cold countries after that. So that went wrong.
But it's weird, isn't it? It's sick. What I thought, I think Sony missed a trick by not kind of doing a Last of Us licensed edition of this game as a kind of precursor.
That would
kind
have
of
been good.
kind of set in the 20-year intervening period from the. I won't spoil the prologue, but there's a 20-year gap between the prologue and the game proper. And you can actually, when you get to a certain stage, get a fungal infection. So they could have totally had the cordyceps virus just wiping people out. And then when you actually go into the game and play as Joel and Ellie, then you feel particularly bad because you're like, oh shit, I did all this.
This was me.
This was me all
This
along.
was Nick Cage.
Yes. It was Cara-chan or Nick Cage. And
I'm going to tell you like a secret that I just discovered about myself. Okay, so
what, just right now?
Just right now.
No, not right now.
Just had an epiphany in the middle of the show.
This week, like talking about viruses. So when I was in Japan, there's like a really big onsen culture, which is like hot springs, that sort of thing, right? And one of the things that happens if you go to hot springs quite a lot is that you might catch a fungal infection on your skin, right? And this is what this is, apparently. Do you know how long ago I was in Japan? I was there like 2 years ago or something.
Oh my God.
And I just thought this was like my skin just being weird for like 2 years. And I went to the doctor today and they were like, well, how long have you had that? And I was like ages? And they're like, yeah, I'm going to give you some antibiotics.
What?
Yeah.
So that's the equivalent of going to like a swimming pool in Britain and getting a verruca.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Except
Oh,
it
man.
happened in Japan, and I thought for ages it was just like I had weird skin on my arm.
Just like a little rash. You're just like, yeah,
It's like a
it's
little rash or
nothing.
something. And then it spread a little bit, and I was like, huh. And then I went to the doctor, and they were just like, yeah, you need to get rid of that.
Yeah, it's starting to take control of your brain.
Basically,
it's pretty
I am the
serious.
virus.
Yeah.
I'm the virus, and I've come over from Japan, and now you're
So
all
that's
going
like,
to
have
get
you not
it.
noticed like small amounts of spores kind of dispersing
Yeah.
from your arm when you go out in hot weather?
I just never realised. It's so weird. I'm sorry, I just have to tell you.
It's out there now.
Oh no.
And on that bombshell, let's move over to our film. The film for this episode is Hot Rod, which came from regular viewer Chris Locke. This was described, well, when I asked for comments from the community, Muckfoot1 on Twitter said, is Hot Rod the one where Lovejoy throws a ninja Death Star at his son? Yeah, I like that film. It is that film. That's Hot Rod. It kind of sums it up. Hot Rod, in brief, it is the story of a man-child who believes that his dead father was once a stuntman, an anonymous stuntman who did all the stunts for Evel Knievel before Evel Knievel did them, and he wants to follow in his footsteps. And it's all kind of motivated by the fact that his stepdad is dying, but his stepdad thinks he's rubbish and always beats the shit out of him. So it's kind of got this twisted premise of he wants to help his dad get a heart transplant so he can beat the shit out of him, which I think is an admirable cause for anyone to raise money. Hot Rod, what do we think of Hot Rod?
I love Hot Rod.
I really, really loved it. It was really good. But then, again, like I said to you before, that like...
I'll tell you what you said. You said, I could watch Andy Samberg brutalize a baby goat and still want to marry him. That's what you said.
I said something different when I walked in here, but I'm not sure it's
Kill your
like
granny.
good for broadcast. I don't know.
Kill your granny?
What was it?
He could actually, he could hack my granny to death, and I'd still want to fuck him. So, oh God, I can't believe I said that on camera.
Wow, the camera makes you confessional.
Yeah.
It does actually. Jeez. Oh. Like,
Is it
let's
the lights?
get this
Is it
over.
the lights?
Let's get this over with quickly. Okay.
I don't know about you, but I was a big fan of The Lonely Island before the albums, when they were just kind of doing web videos.
Yeah, little skits on SNL and stuff.
Even before SNL.
What?
They
No
started
way.
out as just like a trio.
Ah.
I was introduced to them, and they just did web videos. They tried to do some stuff for MTV, didn't come off.
Oh, Awesome Town.
Yes,
That was Dan Harmon, wasn't it?
did
I don't know.
Really?
No,
Dan
'cause I
Harmon's
know-
the Community guy.
Was it? I don't know.
But before
I
they
saw
did,
the pilot of that. I
do you
remember.
know Kablamo? That song they did. That's Kablamo. No, and they did a really funny one, which is a piss take of a pretty obscure sci-fi movie called The Enemy Mine, called Blurb, where it's just this alien and a human trapped on a planet alone, and the alien is a hermaphrodite and keeps trying to convince the astronaut to have sex with him.
Oh, so is that where the album came from? The first album?
Oh, the Incredibad thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Incredibad.
the alien's trying to convince the guy to the space to have sex with him, and all the way he's like, no. And he eventually fixes his spaceship and flies off. And just as a kind of postscript at the end, he goes, by the way, I did have sex with him, and it was awesome. And that's how it ends. And that's kind of when I fell in love with with The Lonely Island, because I think they've got a great capacity to kind of subvert expectations, and it's very rare that you'll get that from American humour.
Yeah, I think that they've gone kind of the opposite way that British humour went, which was like subtly very silly.
Yeah.
And like quite sort of dry, and they kind of went the opposite way. They went like so wacky and so extreme and so silly that it's like it's subverting like every other humor that's been before, just simply because it's so extreme. And yeah, like a kind of extreme man-child sort of situation. Like definitely like this film, Hot Rod, is exactly the kind of example that I would choose, I think.
I'd say as a film, it's kind of pastiching the 80s
Oh yeah, because the 80s dance, what did he call it? The punch dance?
Yes.
Oh yeah, when
Is
he's really
excellent.
I need to go to my alone place.
It's like is it Flashdance or Footloose where they do the
Yes,
angry dance?
Footloose.
It's like it's just that. But then he does the fall at the end, and it's one of those jokes that it should like normally in any other film they would have stopped it like at one tumble. It just keeps going, but it's still funny.
It's the funny not funny sequence, also seen
Yep.
in the Team America vomiting sequence.
Oh yeah.
They
really
know
good.
when you draw it out long enough.
Yeah.
You know that's amazing. Interesting quote from Kyle's W1505 on Twitter, who said, "When I was taking a lot of ecstasy in uni, Hot Rod was the funniest film ever. Now, not so much." Is it a film that benefits from stimulants? I don't know.
Well,
I didn't know that you were going to ask that question. I thought you were going to go sort of like, you know, is it funny when it, you know...
Funny when sober.
When so... But I think... Have you ever seen Anchorman?
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, it's a really great film. Oh, I think it is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I saw it, I didn't quite guess it. But it gets funnier with age. The more that you watch it and the more that you know the jokes that are coming, the better it is and the funnier it is.
Yep.
And I think that Hot Rod probably is the same sort of film. I've only seen it once so far, but I reckon the more you watch it, the more... Because you're expecting those things to happen, maybe.
It's the one that gets funnier with discussion afterwards. I was the same with Anchorman and Zoolander, which came out relatively close to each other.
Yeah.
Didn't laugh a great deal in the cinema.
Yeah.
And then as I was describing things to other people, I was just
And
like,
they become
"That's
funnier."
absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like in Zoolander, like it used to be not that funny that David Duchovny turns up and like has his hand in a glass thing. But now
Steve Hogarty, who was on the last episode, did that for a fancy
That
dress.
was,
party.
that
was your party.
I was Zoolander, so I just covered myself in like plastic bin liners because I
Yeah.
was derelict. And Steve just put his hand in a jar, and it was incredible because he walked into this party and everyone knew who he was. It was like, oh, Steve,
You're the hand model.
The hand model.
Oh, it's so
JP
good.
Pruitt, that's it.
Yeah.
JP Pruitt, and I've got all these pictures of Steve in the local co-op, like reaching for beers because he would genuinely forget. He'd be like, "Dink."
That's amazing.
But I mean, Andy Samberg's great in it, but I really like Yorma's turn in it because he's so youthful looking, and he really plays up to that. Like he's again also in this state of Arrested Development where he's wearing like pajamas. I mean, I can kind of get with this because I still have Super Mario pajamas and stuff like this, which is quite sad. I do. Don't look at me like that, Ash. My wife bought them for me. Who am I to not wear them? But there's this one scene where he comes into the house and Yorma's like doing karaoke to a crowd of cuddly toys that was lined up on his bed, and his body language is amazing. Like he's doing it and singing. He's singing it a bit like the way you sang playing with the boys earlier, and then just kind of like turns away, just like really awkwardly. And I just like I think it's really underrated. And what was really weird is I don't know if you watch Girls, but have you seen the second series?
He's in the first as well. When he turns up in that.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's
he's in it once in the first, and and he's just kind of like really sexually
He's like,
aggressive.
I'm gonna fuck you.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna fuck you, and it's just like, no, hush your mouth, Yorma. It's like I like him as this kind of like young
May they
innocent type.
protect you. It's my favourite bit of my entire movie.
Ancient spirits. But that's the other thing. The film is full of these ridiculous non sequiturs. There's that, and the bit when they ring the bell.
Yeah.
As he's about to like try and hold his breath underwater.
Yeah.
And they all start trying to harmonise with the bell. And they'll just like go, ah, ah, ah. And Isla Fisher, who spends her entire film basically just smiling
And being nice.
and being nice and just tolerating man-children is great. And I'm sure you, as a Arrested Development fan, must have loved Will Arnett being in there.
Babe, no! Babe, wait! Wait, babe, wait!
Wait, babe, no! No!
I love him.
But there's that
It's
amazing.
just full of it.
I think my favourite part of the whole movie was that bit where they were just like they're doing the ancestor chant, like may our ancestors like, and that little.
May they protect you.
Yeah, that's actually my favourite part of the whole film.
Oh, somebody, Sophie Dungworth, she said, I preferred basketball, wrong, but fucking awesome soundtrack though.
It is.
It's mainly
Super
Europe.
80s.
It's mainly Europe.
Yeah.
But there's also Giorgio Moroder track in there, Chase, which is still phenomenal. And most memorably, You're the Voice, John Farnham.
Classic.
in the kind of uplifting scene as they're walking down to his final jump, and the crowd gathers together, and then it just breaks into like an LA riot scenario, and they just like break out. That's what I love. It's like you're meant to. They always switch up the jokes throughout, so you always think that's going to be the funny part, and then no, it's that bit when they all start smashing cars up and making out on bonnets, and McBride's got a TV in his hands at the end of it, and stuff like that.
I mean, there's like, just like you were saying, it's not what you expect. Like, even in the beginning, you know that bit where he makes the first jump, and like you think he's going to be like mashed up and bloody when he's like lying on the ground, but in fact he's just throwing up.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine that he landed on his head and broken his neck and just blood and like, no, just
Clearly
throwing up. Yeah, he's fine. He's made of rubber. He's just throwing up. Because
they juxtapose it amazingly as well, because he vomits and then it's just a hot rod, and it's just him just doing like shitty jumps off curves and stuff.
Cape. It's so cute.
I love when he when after they drown him, and Isla Fisher's do the mouth to mouth, and he goes to your mouth, just like, did it look like we were making out? It's a bit cold. Like nearly died, but that's what's in most important.
Every time I see Andy Samberg's face, though, I'm like, you are dating Joanna Newsom. It's so weird.
The singer?
The folk singer.
What?
Yeah. I mean, maybe they aren't still dating, but like, I'm sure
were.
that they definitely are or were dating long term.
That's a weird combo.
Isn't that bizarre? Like, just thinking, I mean, obviously, when he goes home, he's not a comedian and she's not a folk singer. They're just like people. But like in my head, like she's just like strumming away ethereally, and he's just making goofy jokes and throwing up in the back, you know. And I'm just like, I don't understand that. But yeah. Anyway.
I kind of get the feeling that Andy Samberg's always on though for some reason.
I just think he's got one of those rubbery Jim Carrey faces that that must be always making an expression at some point in the day. I imagine he wakes up with a kind of expression on his face.
I can't imagine just having a normal conversation. I can't imagine him being in a coffee shop and just asking
So, hey,
for a latte.
Yeah.
I can imagine him be like,
And then just
hey! Or like doing a stupid voice or something, or like just throwing his coffee somewhere.
Yeah.
I like the fact you've imagined him waking up.
Well, this
You
is
totally have.
Okay. we should not think about Andy Samberg anymore.
It's also got really great lines that are kind of throwaway. So my favourite is, his teeth ground down to a powder and his face exploded at the back of his skull. He died instantly the next day. That's Hot Rod. It's brilliant. Okay, so we're going to move on to the challenge. We're outdoors because it's time for the challenge, and this one came from John Page, who I think suggested Russian roulette with guns. I figured that was massively impractical, so we're going to do it with eggs. Now, unfortunately, our leading egg scientist broke one of the eggs. Shut up! You know what you did. So we're changing it slightly. The idea is there's 8 eggs. 2 of them are uncooked, the rest are hard-boiled. We just have to pick one at random, crack it on our heads. That's it. You take it, you pick it, you put it, you smash it. That's it. Does that mean, do I go first?
Sure, why not?
I'll go first then.
Bring on the scientist.
Bring on the scientist. All right, I'm closing my eyes.
There he is.
Where is he?
Are we closing our eyes?
Come on in.
No, you don't have to close your eyes.
Okay.
Where are you?
Okay, right. He's coming forwards. So
Okay.
do you want to put the eggs in front of him?
Okay.
Arm out. Dan.
Go.
And
down.
if you do hit a soft-boiled one,
Okay.
you're out. So we want to get it down to one winner.
do you ladies want to stand further apart so that
gonna
you don't
move
get
away
any
a little
eggs back?
What colour have I got?
Can't tell you.
Can't tell you. Just slam that against your head, right?
Are you sure? Hey!
Nice.
Silver egg.
How much did that hurt?
Quite a lot, actually.
Oh no.
Does it feel?
It feels like not
feel
as
like
hard-boiled.
Okay.
Take your glasses off, just in case.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. Oh!
No, it's hard-boiled.
Oh yeah, it's hard-boiled.
Yay!
Amazing.
The reason we're wearing these t-shirts, I should have said this at the start. The reason we've got these on is one, we didn't want to get our regular clothes mucky, but these are lovely clothes from Insert Coin T-shirts, our long-time supporters. Buy them now. Far Cry, Jet Set Radio, Tekken. Right, you're next.
Oh. Okay.
Right, eyes closed. The egg scientist is coming.
I like the fact the wooden egg was
Hands down.
There you go.
Yeah, it was like really hurt.
Oh, are you sure you want that one?
Oh no, you don't get
Oh, no,
saved.
that's a look at it.
3, 2, 1.
Hey!
I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, thank God for that.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
It's getting so tense.
Oh my God.
There are 4 eggs left.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
Have you just boiled all of them?
I don't believe it.
Seriously, this is gonna get.
Oh, I don't want to do it. I'm gonna
3 eggs left. One of you will be fine.
I'm keeping my distance.
3, 2, 1.
Oh no! That really hurt. But apparently, egg is good for the hair. So
Is it?
yeah, do you want some?
Or actually, sorry,
Oh, that
choose
makes sense.
left or right. Choose left or right, which is in Ash's hand.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll verify.
Dan, choose.
Left.
Close your eyes. So you've got the right. Let's pass them over.
Eyes closed.
Both of us?
Yeah.
I can't believe you allowed me to choose.
Okay. Keep eyes closed.
Oh my god.
Eyes closed.
Oh, I'm bollocksed.
After 3.
I'm bollocksed.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
Champion! Nice! Loser!
I'm so sorry, Dad.
Oh dear.
My hands have your albumin on them. Oh!
Oh no.
I believe that's it for another episode of Homework. Thank you so much. Thank you for the towel. So before I sign off, is there anything you'd like to plug?
I guess E2 is coming up next week, which I'm co-hosting.
E-T-O-O.
Yeah, which is a sort of alternative E3 event. So if you could come by during the day, maybe drop by. All the tickets are sold out, but we are streaming it live on the Guardian website. So come and see us. And I'm co-hosting with Keith Stewart, who is very lovely, and George Backer as well. So.
And I believe we've actually got a video that we're putting together right now that will be shown at E2 as well. So keep an eye out for that.
I do the Blurb, which is on challenge, every Monday night, either at 10:30 or 11, depending on when they put us on. I will also be doing a video from E3 for E2, probably noting the fashion of all the females around E3, because apparently that is a big talking point this year.
That's important.
Females? So yeah, that's all I do.
Cool, well that's it for this episode of Homework. If you haven't seen Thank You for Playing It, you totally should. It's www.tyfp.eu. There's a more complicated one, but fuck that. And don't forget that the theme for... Don't forget, I haven't even told you yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself because of all this egg excitement. Excitement.
Get out.
The next episode's theme, no, is parties. So... suggest your movie or game or challenge to stuff@explosivealan.com or tweet it to us at explosive_Alan or facebook.com/explosivealanproductions. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my guests, Cara and Lucy. Goodbye.